Hello student teachers, this video is dedicated to you. Steps to be followed while teaching English prose. Step 1. Motivation. See that you create an activity or maybe give them something to talk about. Show them a chart or show them a picture. Play a piece of music. Do something that the students will come forward to guess the topic. Well, if they aren't able to guess the topic exactly, at least they will come nearer to the topic. And once that is established, you can go ahead and write the heading clearly on the board. After you've written the heading on the board, you can announce the page number of the particular lesson. Give them a few seconds to open their textbooks and turn to their page. Meanwhile, you can quickly walk in between the benches to make sure that everybody is engaged in the process of finding the particular page number. So once that is done, you take a position where you will be visible and audible for all the students. You need to hold the textbook and read as loud and clearly as you can. You can stop at maybe 2 or 3 lines or maybe after a paragraph and explain whatever you have read. During this explanation itself, you can show the necessary charts or maybe the other teaching aids which you have prepared for your lesson. So while you are reading, make sure that students follow what you are reading. And for this, I recommend 2 methods. One is the index finger method, where they will use their index finger on the word you are exactly reading. The second one is the pencil tip method, where they will use the pencil tip to point out the word or the line you are reading. So you can see which works best and you can adopt a suitable method. By doing so, you are promoting eye and hand coordination. I repeat, by doing so, you are promoting eye and hand coordination. Likewise, you need to continue reading, stop appropriately, give the necessary explanations, put up the necessary teaching aids, etc. While reading, make them to underline the difficult or new words. Give the meanings for those words. Teach them the meaning of those words. You can use different methods to teach vocabulary. If you're so interested in knowing how to teach vocabulary, please watch. There's a separate video. After you have read the lesson, make the students to engage in silent reading. Then you go on to the third step, which is the comparison. So here you can ask students to close their textbooks and you can ask them to reflect on the characters of the story, compare characters, pick out the favorite person of the story or the most famous dialogue or the repeated phrases, etc. Then you go on to the fourth step, which is the recapitulation. So here you will actually test to see if students have understood what you have explained. For this, I recommend you use some quiz cards or maybe an activity chart where you call them forward to fix flashcards on the chart. Students can be asked to talk on the flashcard they receive. Or sometimes you can even display a chart with the option yes or no, and you can have the flashcard yes, no written separately. So based on the statement, you can ask children to come forward and fix the answer to the particular statement. So these are just different types of activities. So ultimately in recapitulation, you are actually testing to know whether students have understood what you have explained. Over now to the fifth step, which is assignment. Normally, I recommend 2 steps. One is A, which will be homework that will improve their academic performance. For example, memorize new words, frame sentences, answer the following questions, write an essay on all academic-oriented work. And component B is something which you will use to tap the creativity of your students. For example, imagine yourself to be a particular character in the story. Or what would you do if you were so-and-so? You can give them any activity which will tap their creativity. And when you give such assignments, make sure you take some time to go through to offer your suggestions. So best wishes on being that happy and divine teacher.